I'm forgetting one.
There it is.
Okay, who's Go Potatoes? Spin the Leak here. I watched a good chunk of movies. I haven't really been able to go ahead and review those because I've been lacking energy and I've been helping the kitten accommodate to its new surroundings. It's very young, never been outside, and like the car ride was a huge shock for it, but you guys saw that it's doing well. Isn't that right? Next to That's enough of that. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a rapid review of a good few movies that I watched with this kitten in mind. Let's begin. First of all, Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino, one of his earliest films and one of my favorites. The kind of espionage aspect of it, as well as jumping around and overall dialogue discussing popular music and movies, is very fun, very entertaining, and it's something to keep you guessing up until the end, until you realize that Quentin Tarantino is going to stick with this formula for the rest of his movies. Overall, 4 potatoes. Next up, Piranha. This one advertises itself as Jaws Gone Wild. There were a lot of excellent moments in this. It mostly capitalized on raw gore and nudity. This is definitely something to look into. There's a lot of hilarious scenes in this. There's a lot of very campy moments, but overall, it's just a very entertaining movie to watch. It keeps your attention, and it just makes things fun, as stupid as it gets. This one is gonna get 3.5 potatoes. Quarantine. This is one of those behind the camera perspectives. I don't typically like these. Well, I do enjoy watching them, but I don't like them in the aspect that it's a horror movie that takes you out of the setting. Typically with horror movies, you want to feel like you're in the room or witnessing what's going on, whereas this is after the fact. This is a recording in another area, so obviously the person watching this video is relatively safe. So overall, it takes away from the aspect of it, but this movie does a great job of keeping your attention, keeping you thrilled, and provides a lot of decent jump scares. This one's going to get a solid 3 potatoes. Next, Django Unchained, another Tarantino film, and I do love Tarantino. Django Unchained, honestly, every cast member performed amazingly, no matter how much it pained them. I know for a fact, well, at least I've heard stories of DiCaprio taking breaks after his scenes to go ahead and get over his offensive use of language. Come on, get down from there. If you knock over the camera, I'm going to be angry at you. You like Django, don't you? Get off the movie. Anyway, despite offensive language and like over-the-top gore, this movie is definitely a throw-ride, definitely something to behold. I loved every second of it. This one's going to get a solid 4 potatoes. You can tell that I love Tarantino films. Al Pacino, Scarface. Who doesn't love Scarface, in all honesty? Who doesn't like mob films, in all honesty? This movie went over the top and really took you in deep with a kind of Colombian crime wave. I swear, if you unplug that. Cats, right? But yeah, no. This movie was action-packed, very sexy, very fun. The only issue with mob films is how long they drag on to go ahead and pick up, and you know it's going to end with everyone dead, so it's kind of middle of the road. Honestly, if it were completely up to me and my personal preference of this movie, I try to take a lot of things into consideration whenever I rate these. This one's going to get a solid, not even a solid, it's going to get 3.5 potatoes. It's not going to get 4 because it didn't age too well. It wouldn't keep modern audience members' attention unless they watched this film initially growing up. Not only that, but like I said, mob films are long, drawn out, and predictable. So, as much as I love this movie, it's going to get 3.5 potatoes. Next, we have 2 films. These are going to be the last 2. They are a little bit of a Rob Zombie collection. We got House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. Now, House of a Thousand Corpses was overdone, a little over-edited, but that ended up helping with the craziness of it all. You're talking about a family that's going ahead and murdering everyone they come across, sleeping with the corpses and raping them for hours and hours, going on months. This was definitely a trippy ride. The gore was over the top. The creativity of this was off the fucking charts. The music was crappy but entertaining. Then again, it's old school and it was just for the cause of the movie. When I say it's crappy, I mean it's something that I wouldn't typically listen to on its own. But with the movie, it was excellent. Now, Devil's Rejects, actually, I didn't give this one a rating, did I? I'm going to go ahead and give that one 2.5 potatoes. Only because it didn't age too well, but I do personally love this movie. Devil's Rejects. This one's going to have a relatively high rating because I also watched 30 Days in Hell. If you don't know, that's a day-to-day documentary about the creation of this. It explained a lot of things with Rob Zombie's thought process on making the film, as well as budgeting, which you do have to take into consideration, and why he made a lot of changes he made in the movie, as opposed to the first one, why he changed location. It was more affordable. He wanted a more gritty, realistic look. The first one was initially cartoony. I do love Rob Zombie's treatment of cast and crew and how everyone seems to get along because of their years of experience together. He can be a bit nitpicky, but overall he seems like a cool guy, and this seems like it was a lot of fun to make, even with all the issues and delays with production. Like this, they were out in the desert pretty much the entire time they were making this movie, and a lot of the great places that you see in the movie they came across by chance. It wasn't on the initial location roster where they could potentially film this, so they came across a lot of cool shit, which I can't really be too aggressive with it. They went through a lot to go ahead and make this movie, went above and beyond, and they actually came out of this under budget. So props to Rob Zombie for this, and this movie is thrilling and fun, start to finish. As fucked up as it is still an amazing film. So this one is going to get 4 potatoes. And that was a rapid review. Only because I didn't want to take time to do like fucking, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos, and have to go into depth with every single one because I watched this over the course of 2 days. And I am currently watching Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. I already know I'm going to do. That's going to be an individual review. I just want to go ahead and do this to bust out a nice little chunk of my reviews and try to challenge myself to deliver something fair as quickly as possible and try to get a point across about a few of these films. Like, honestly, some of these, when I talk about them independently, I couldn't make it interesting. Like, Scarface. Everyone knows what's going on with Scarface. Freaking Piranha. I had a lot of interesting things to say about Piranha, but every time I would stop and think about it, I was lacking energy. This has been a very draining time for me. So I certainly hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the streams last night. If you haven't seen them, go ahead and check it out. Have you seen any of these movies? Are you planning on watching them? Go ahead and post all that in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, keep on keeping on, and I will see you in another video. Happy holidays. Have a great week, month, day, and look forward to the new year.